A very good morning to all of you. Welcome to class 11th economics. As we have already completed microeconomics unit number 1, that is introduction. The next chapter that we are starting from today is from the book Statistics in Economics. And chapter is chapter number 2 because one we have already completed. So chapter number 2 we are now starting. The book is Statistics in Economics. And chapter number which we are doing is now chapter number 2, that is collection of data. Collection of data. So this is the chapter which we are now starting. Collection of data. You know, for doing any particular study, for doing any particular statistical study, there is a need to collect the data first. For example, if there are 40 students in my class and I want to know that what is the pocket money allowance, of 40 students of my class. That means I need to collect the data from each one of you, as I just asked you people to tell your data of pocket money which you get, because it is impossible, not possible now to collect the data from all 40 of my class. Suppose I'm taking only 5 students, and I will show you that how a statistical study is being done, it's being made. So I'll take 5 students from you and I'll get to know about the data of my statistical study which I am doing, and accordingly I will be getting the information from you. So let's say, firstly, I'm taking the information from the first student, and what I'm getting, I'm taking the pocket money allowance. I'm taking the pocket money allowance which you people are getting from your parents. Let's say Ayush Kulyal, please tell me what pocket money you're getting a month, each month from your parents. Please repeat, I didn't hear.
500.
500, all right. So 500 rupees Ayush is getting per month from his parents as a pocket money. All right, Ayush. So let's see the second student, Ushant Mathur. Ushant, unmute yourself and tell me what is your pocket money allowance which you are getting from your parents each month?
1,000.
Okay, so Ushant is saying that he is getting rupees 1,000 as a pocket money allowance from his parents monthly. He is getting 1,000. All right. Now I get to know about from the third student. Let's say Apeksha. Apeksha, you tell me how much you are getting. Apeksha, you are not audible.
700.
700 rupees. Okay, Apeksha is getting 700 rupees as a pocket money allowance from her parents. Daksh, you tell me, Daksh, how much you are getting from your parents? Daksh, not able to hear you.
500.
500. Daksh is getting rupees 500. And let's talk about one more student. Or I'll take 6 students now. Let's talk about 2 more students. Sanya Ahuja, how much you are taking?
400.
400 rupees. So Sanya is getting 400 rupees as a pocket money allowance. And one more last student I'm asking from Navya. Yes, Navya.
Sir, 300 rupees.
300 rupees. So she's getting 300 as a pocket money allowance from her parents. Did you notice when I wanted to collect the data, I collected directly from each one of you about your data. Like I asked Ayush that how much salary, how much pocket money he is getting each month from his parents. I asked Ushant directly how much he is getting as a pocket money from his parents. Same way I asked Apeksha, Daksh, Sanya, Navya directly from them. So whenever you are collecting the data, but side by side, I'll be taking two topics together in a way. So whenever I'm talking about collection of data, if the data is collected directly, from the person from whom you want to do the investigation, for whom you want to do the investigation, but that method of collection is known as direct personal interview. Direct personal interview. This is the method. Direct personal interview. आप देख रहे हैं? I collected the data directly from those people whom I want to include them in the study of economics, in the statistical study. I directly collected the data from them. This method is known as direct personal interview. Of course, this is direct personal interview method. All right. Now let's do one more thing. I would like to unmute Bhumi. Bhumi, unmute yourself, please.
Yes, sir.
Bhumi, do you have any sibling, Bhumi?
Yes, sir.
You have a brother or a sister?
Brother, sir.
Brother. Okay. How much your brother is getting the pocket money allowance each month?
Sir, 100 rupees.
100 rupees. So Bhumi's brother is getting rupees 100 as a pocket money allowance each month. Thank you, Bhumi. So now I want to ask someone else also. Ria. Ria, do you have any sibling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much your sibling is getting as a pocket money each month?
1000.
Okay. Ria's sibling, he is getting rupees 1000 each month. All right. Let me from one more student. Yeah. If I talk about these three people, Bhumi, Ria, and Sia, do you observe that from these three people, I have not asked the information of themselves from them? I have asked the information of their siblings from them. So when I have not directly collected the information from Bhumi's brother, in spite, I have collected the information about Bhumi's brother from Bhumi. But will it be known as direct personal interview? Do you think? Will it be known as? Will this method of collection of data would be known as direct personal interview? No, bete. This will not be known as direct personal interview. This will be known as indirect oral investigation. This method will be known as indirect oral investigation, where you are not directly getting the information whom you want to involve in the statistical study. You are getting the information about Mr. A from Mr. B. That is indirect oral investigation. Is my point clear enough to you people? Have you understood the example and the two different methods of collection of data which we can use, which we can observe? Now, Bede, I told you I want to make a study on pocket money allowance of my students in my class. And I've got the information from 9 students in total. Out of 9 students, I got the information from 6 students through direct personal interview method, and rest 3 students, I got the information in a method that is indirect oral investigation. When you collect the data, this is the first step in this statistical study. Mind it. This is the first step in the statistical study. It is the first step in this statistical study. That means when we say that it is the first step in this statistical study, because if I want to know the mean and median of the pocket money of my students in my class, then definitely first of all I need to collect the data. You all remember the statistics as a singular noun, which we have done in chapter number 1, where I told you about the various stages of statistics: collection of data, organization of data, presentation of data, then after presentation, analysis of data, then interpretation of data. So can you tell me which of these stage we have done in our example now? Please write your answer in the chat box. Which of this stage we have completed, we have done in my example now? Very good, Riya, Sia, Vaibhav, Ishika, Ayush, Navya. Very good. We have covered collection of data stage. Kunal also. We have done collection of data stage. That means first stage is the collection of data. So definitely, firstly, you need to collect the data properly. Because once you will be able to collect the data properly, then of course you can make study afterwards. The second stage I told you is organization of data. Dekho, in our example, so we have just taken the data of 9 students. But what if I am talking about the data of 1,000 students in my school? Of course, individual data would be so hectic to understand. Individual data would be so problematic to make a study. What we have to do in that case? We have to organize the data. So let us see, let us organize this data here. हम लोग एक काम करते हैं, हम डाटा को ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं अपने एग्जाम्पल में भी. We shall organize the data. On the side corner of the board, I am organizing the data. See, how many students I have taken? 9 students I have taken. So let us organize in a simple way. First student, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. So 9 students. The first student, let us arrange it in an ascending order also. To make it more simple, let us arrange it in ascending order. So what lowest amount of monthly pocket money do you see here? I see as 300. Sorry, 100. 100 is also there, Bhumi's brother. So 100. After 100, what amount I see here as the lowest? 300. After 300, there is 400. After 400, I have 500. But 500 I have for 2 people. So I'll be writing it for 2 only, twice only, when I have it for 2. So after 500, what amount? Even 500 we have for 3. So let us do it for 3 only, because 500 we have for 3 people. So we have written it for 3. Okay, so after 500 we have 700. After 700 we have 1000. And of course one more 1000. Can you see how organized this data is looking? How organized? Let it make more organized. Let's make the table, present it in a tabular form so that it should look an organized way of data. See how organized this data is looking. See the data which was earlier presented in the text form and the data which I have now presented in the table form. Of course, presentation of data would be done after the collection of data to make our data more presentable. I have just done the tabular presentation. You can make the bar graph. You can make the graphs, pie chart, or any other diagram also to make it through the diagrammatic presentation. So what is the first stage for statistical study? First stage. For going for any statistical study, what is the first stage? Collection of data. Got it? Collect the data first. What is the second stage? What is the second stage? Organization of data. Go for organization of data. And what is the third stage? Presentation of data. We have organized. Now let us present this data. Let's make the graph for this. I'll be just making 3, 4 only. Okay? But otherwise you can make it this in the same way. So let's present the data in the form of a graph, a bar diagram, let's say, where I'm just going to tell that how much you are getting from which. See, suppose Mr. A, the first one, is getting 100. Second one is getting 300. Third one is getting 400. Fourth one is getting 500. Fifth one is also getting the same, 500. This is better the presentation of data. Understood? When you present the data in the form of any diagram, so that the one doesn't have to read the complete text of the data. One person just have to look at the bar diagram or any other diagram, and just by looking at that diagram, he would be able to, grab the information that what that question is talking about, what that statistical study, for what purpose that statistical study is being done. Got my point? What I want to say? So the third stage is, of course, presentation of data. Now the fourth stage will be analysis of data. Let's analyze this data. Let's calculate the average from this data. Let's calculate the average from this data. जरा calculate करो average. Average क्या होता है? Average is basically sum of all observations divided by number of observations, which we simply call mean, arithmetic mean. So what will be the average? Average will be 100 plus 300 plus 400 plus 500 plus 500. Can you see how easy is this now? Because when we have already organized the data to get to know about the information, plus again 500, then 700, then 1000, and again 1000. Which means what we are doing? We are, of course, adding. We are doing the sum of all observations together divided by number of observations divided by number of observations. Number of observations means how much you have as a number for which you are doing this study. We are doing this study for 9 people. So divided by 9. Can you tell me what is the average you people are getting? What is the average you people are getting? What is the total? What is the total or what is the sum? The sum of all observations, I'm getting in the chat box, it is 5,000. Sum of all observation is 5,000. And when you divide it by the number of observation, that is 9, what answer you people are getting? What answer you people are getting for this? Tell me. We are getting an average of 555.5. This is the analysis of data. Simple. This is the analysis of data. Got it? Analysis of data also. This is the 4th stage, to analyze the data. Now the 5th stage is interpretation of data. Now what interpretation do you observe from this average? 555.5. What interpretation do you observe? I simply observe that on an average, one person is getting at least 555.5 rupees as a monthly allowance, pocket money. 555.5 rupees. This is average, right? Got it? Now, do you think statistical results are correct? You must have studied in the limitations of statistics. We have studied in chapter number 1. Do you think statistical results are actually true? I told you they are true only on an average. Hence proved. There was Bhumi's brother who was just getting 100 rupees as pocket money allowance. Right? But what my statistical result is saying? My result is saying on an average, every person is getting 555.5 rupees as a pocket money allowance. Hence proved that statistical results are true only on an average. They are not absolutely figures, or they are not true, absolutely true. They are true only on an average. There was one more person who was getting 300 rupees as a pocket money. Right? There was one more who was getting 300 rupees as pocket money. That is Navya. But what statistical result is saying? Result is saying that on an average, Navya is also getting 555.5. That is not true, because Navya is getting only 300. Because statistics is the study of aggregates. That is why the results of statistics are not absolutely true. They are true only on an average. Now look at Ria and Ushant. They were getting 1,000, but the statistical result is saying you are getting only 555.5. Dekh rahe ho? That how statistical results are not accurate. They are just true only on an average. But this is complete about the stages of statistics, where we have started today the first stage, that is collection of data, where I have introduced you with the first two methods of collecting the data: direct personal interview and indirect oral investigation. All right.